Today is May the 1st of 2023, and I'm just having a quiet uh, morning, but that's how they usually are. Um, I got back from my day at work and going through a little bit of my winding down ritual, and I was going to do a short recording, and I was just about to get started, and I was like thinking about what did I want to talk about or try to talk about, and I had a few ideas, and I've also got a few on the back burner that they're in waiting that I just haven't gotten around to yet, but they're always there. It's just whether or not something else is taking precedence in my mind of something else that I want to talk about and that has a sense of priority about it. Um, and today, there's a few things, but the one that was seeming to be getting my attention um, was about being content with less. Um, I don't require a lot of stuff to be okay. As far as you know, events and activities and gadgets and toys and electronics and entertainment. And, I don't know exactly. Um, I have my, you know, novelties and entertainments myself. A lot of YouTube and, um, and a lot of YouTube. Uh, but I don't really have much of a social life or go out very much to activities with other people. I do a lot of things uh, by myself, but a lot of times that doesn't count for some reason. If you're doing it by yourself and no one was there to see you or participate or share in it, then it didn't happen, or it doesn't matter, or it doesn't count, or it doesn't have, you know, any worth or merit because it didn't. I don't know. But I stay busy and I stay occupied, and I somehow, whatever it is I'm doing or the way that I'm doing it, it's okay. It's not anything to brag about, far from it. No one would really understand it either. It's like, oh, because when I mention stuff that I'm doing, or people don't seem to have the reference points to really, understand how that is something that I place value on. As other people are talking about what they're talking about, and I don't know. So I've just learned to just not talk about stuff that I do or the way that I do things or where I go, what I see, what I choose to record. Um, so it's like everything that I do, I just keep to myself because no one seems really interested in it anyway. So, and that's just how it is. So, but I guess the other topic I was thinking about how I am living my best life, and I only really have to work on building for myself a life of my own understanding. Um, and living the best that I know how to live. I don't have to live for somebody else. I don't have to try to figure out how to live the best life um, for somebody else. I just need to work on myself and living my own best life. And if it's enough for me, then that's enough for me. I mean, I can always do things better, but a lot of the time, I really don't know um, what would be better. It's like if I'm already okay, I mean, there's things that might bother me, and I could work on that, like my living arrangements and my abode, but that's another topic. just because I'm used to here, I'm comfortable here, and there's nothing really pressing or making it um, a necessity to make a change. I could, but I might find myself in a situation where it's like, I should have stayed. And I find myself in with a whole new set of uncertainties and issues. But there's no guarantee of that. I might be like, why did I wait so long? And so, I don't know. But really, I don't have much to complain about. I don't have much to brag about either. I'm not here to talk about all the great and wonderful things that I've got going on and how successful things are, and everything is going great and I'm doing great and everything. It's like, no, not really. When people ask me how I'm doing, a lot of the times I go with surviving, because any more than that, and it's like, everything changes from day to day, and I guess for me, um, something I try to acknowledge is my own sense of self and a continuity of my emotional state. Because, when I'm out in the wild around other people outside of my comfort zone, which is this apartment, basically, I'm I am on I am vigilant and on guard and highly aware a lot of times of what's going on around me and things like that. I get a bit agitated and nervous sometimes when I do not feel entirely certain of myself in my environment, and just self-conscious. Um, and I can forget myself too, and just kind of become immersed in whatever activity that I am occupied with. Um, but more often, I'm just aware, and I am not relaxed, and I forget where I was going with that. No, I really do forget, and it's causing me to think about turning this off and starting over again. But I don't really do that. I just go with it anyway. So my life only has to be of my own understanding, and it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. I'm not here to prove anything to anyone either, or to educate them, or to entertain. Um, this is a lot of the times my titles of my videos or shorts, or the writings that go in the descriptions of each one. Not all of them, because sometimes I just throw up a video. But a lot of them have a lot of writing contained in the descriptions. And some of it is metaphorical, and some is rhetorical, um, and some is just purely speculative or imaginative. Um, just me letting my mind wander and speaking from the heart. And it doesn't have to mean anything. And again, it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else, because a lot of the time, it doesn't even make sense to me. They're just the words that appear, and they are the ones that get written down. And I look back at that later, and it's like, wow, I didn't used to write like this. I didn't used to live like this either. There is a cat outside on my neighbor's front porch. It's a healthy looking cat. I think it's the same cat I saw outside the other morning. Looked like it was playing with something. It was about to, it was playing with its food. And it looked very happy. It's a very healthy looking cat. And now I think it's stalking something. It looks very engaged. Looks like, oh, there. Oh, yep. Definitely in stalking mode. I think he's going after a bird. I'm sorry. Cats are fun. But anyway. And I wouldn't say that I'm happy. That's the other thing. I'm not even sure if I know what that means. I know what I think is what is being sold and advertised as what people should want, and it can be bought for a low price, and that will make you happy. And everybody has something to sell, a product or advice or solutions or tips and tricks and life hacks that'll, possibly to some degree or byproduct result in some form of happiness. But again, everybody's just got something to sell. And for me, it's like I don't personally put much stock or faith or belief in, any sort of product or to make me happy. It might entertain me for a little bit, but, I'm still left with the same problems that I always am, the same patterns and the same routines and the same life. The only thing that can really be sold is a distraction. So I don't notice the things that bother me. But if I actually want to do better, live better, I actually have to, work on the things that bother me instead of just looking for alternatives or distractions or things like that. So, finding things in my life to do that I can take some satisfaction from. And for me, a lot of that is the writing and the running and the recording. And it used to be a lot to do with recovery work that I still do, just a lot less than I used to, as I feel a lot of feel disenfranchised and disillusioned and disengaged and detached from that world, because it took a lot of suspension of disbelief to put up a mask so that I was fitting in. And it became more about the stuff that I didn't talk about than the stuff that I did talk about. Because as far as recovery goes, you have to do it this way, or within a certain established parameters of what is known, or a little bit gray, but still okay. And I was too much doing things my own way. And since I didn't seem to be able to explain it, or stop trying to explain it, it seemed to be working for me. But since I couldn't explain it, it just doesn't seem to count. And it's not like I even propose or suggest that what I do and the way that I do it could work for anyone else. I don't know how anyone else would ever find any sort of recovery the way I did it. And I couldn't tell you how I did it. I just know I don't want to do it again. It took a severe desperation and desire to want to live and to want to find a way, because the alternative was not attractive. And it's like, I never had a death wish. I just lost the will to live and was just content with just drinking myself into oblivion every day, because I just became trapped in that lifestyle of my own making, and had become very isolated and alone. And not much has changed, actually. My life now is very much grown, very isolated and alone. The main difference is that I'm not drinking, but I'm still myself. I'm even more myself than I used to be now that I'm actually getting to know myself. But the difference is that I like myself nowadays better. And I'm also finding some satisfaction with life. And I could be doing better, but I don't know how. If I knew how, I'd be working on it. That's why when things happen, I try to investigate and learn about possible alternatives to the ways that I'm currently thinking about things. And maybe I could do something different. Or, but so far, it always comes back to here. And I guess that's just how it is for now. Will it always be this way? I doubt it. Something will change. And if it doesn't, well, we'll see about that. I do have the means to just decide. It's like, yep, I need to do something different. And then I'll just go do something different. Because I'm not a big fan of this actual environment here in this place. There's just no mountains. And there's no, like, open water nearby. It's kind of like, I need this is just landlocked and flat. And it's just, I'd like hills or mountains or rivers or lakes or oceans or seas, but landlocked and flat, I don't know. It's been a fine place to do what I've been doing these past couple years, but it's feeling, yeah. And I'm also just kind of alone here. I don't have any close family, and I don't have, I don't have any close family nearby. But, and I don't really have any friends or, just acquaintances, really. I mean, there are some people that I could call friends, but I choose not to, because I don't even really know their last names, or never been over to their house. I don't go out and do things together. Don't plan on hanging out at any time, or because everybody's got their own lives, and I'm just kind of, everybody just assumes, I think, that I have my circle of friends or something, and I have all these things that I must do, um, that I have some sort of life. They just don't know about it. When in fact, I actually do not have the sort of life that most people might imagine. I do have a life, but it is a solitary life. Everything I do by myself. It is the rarity that I actually go and do anything um, in public that involves anyone else. I stopped. It's not that I don't care. It's just I have just sort of stopped forcing myself to try so hard. As I don't assume that things should just, come naturally, and I shouldn't have to work at it. No, I tend to think that I do need to work at it. But it's just the people I meet around me, when I do meet people, which is rare, there's just less in common. And I think it's just because I've just been living the way I've been living for so long that I am very hard to relate to. I have less to talk about because I don't keep track of, popular culture. I don't pay attention much to music or the TV or movies or the news. So I don't know really what there is to talk about. I used to pay more attention to that sort of stuff, but in the past decade or so, I've kind of just stopped paying attention to popular culture, I guess. That's the easiest way to say it. It's not that it's a bad thing. It's just, I guess I just have the other things that I do that take up my time. And like I say, my main form of entertainment is YouTube. I used to have Netflix, but I kind of got away from that and just stopped paying attention. I have enough people that I watch on YouTube on a regular basis that it's just, well, there's my time. And like I say, this life doesn't have to make sense or be good enough for someone else. That's another problem with this location. Every day, there's traffic of emergency vehicles up and down. It's on a schedule. I don't know exactly. It's like it's not really an emergency. It's just they go across town from one place to another at certain times of the day. So I guess this morning was just sort of a reflection on current events in a somber, melancholy, quiet mood. It's not very glamorous or loud or, you know, but like I said when I started, I just tend to be content with less. Though I have quite a bit more than I used to. But it really cannot be measured in quantitative terms. or qualitative. The only testament to it is the life and the person that I am and what I'm doing and what I've been doing. But again, it's not a pass and fail, and there is no judge. It's only what I decide is okay and how I feel about it. As if I don't feel like I'm getting much out of it or that I like it any longer, it's like I just will stop. I'll do something different, or just stop and just collect my thoughts, recalibrate, head off in another direction, or just naturally I'll just start doing something different. And I might go back and revisit something, and it's like, am I done with that? I left it for a little while, and I came back, and oh yeah, okay. And it's like I'll just stop doing something, and I'll start doing something different. But for me, from my perspective, I just find new outlets for myself to keep on doing what I'm doing, which is a lot of upkeep and maintenance on my own sanity, really. Because that's another topic, is that when you feel like you're like one of the last ones, or at least you feel like, or I feel like, a complete outsider looking in into the worlds of other people and just feeling like the alien and or the trespasser, or just looking in windows and seeing people living normal lives or content lives, or however it looks to me on that particular day, and kind of wanting, like, I wonder what that's like. Just seeing people being happy to be around each other and talking freely without as much pressure or anxiety or stress. That level of comfort and of feeling wanted or feeling known. It's like, I don't have that. My experience with most people these past few years is about people wanting me to do things, or trying to get me to do things, or wanting things from me, or wanting me to be somebody for them that they want me to be, and trying to kind of sculpt me and coax me into being more like a person that they would like me to be, so I'm more convenient to them. Because how it is that I actually am is not good. I need to be different for them to be okay. Or I tend to think that, no, I'm actually okay as I am. And I don't set out to put requirements on other people to adjust themselves to, I don't know. This is why I'm alone. On this conversation. It's like, well, I am very unrelatable to the rest of this. I know there's other people out there like how this is, or whoever this appears. It's just people like me, we don't talk. We don't communicate. We don't so we just find ourselves alone in this world, and wondering, it's like, well, I guess this is just how it's going to be. Get used to it, sort of thing. Well, I don't want to get used to it. I've been getting used to it, and I'm tired of being used to it. But it's up to me to figure out ways to change that. And I'm still working on it. I haven't figured it out. As soon as I find out, or figure it out, or make some progress, I will definitely be in touch.